All right, welcome everyone. Another episode of Big Brain MMA podcast, episode 21, Contender Series Week 8. 3 more weeks to go. Hopefully we can get some profit out. Let's quickly go over the previous results. Another average result. I think I made like around $100, break even essentially. Pretty poor. Had $100 on Maya, the massive underdog in the low women's MMA fight. I'm happy to lose that. As soon as she got the takedown in the second and stood up, I knew she was going to lose. But she had all the tools there, and the other lady, the 19-year-old Czech girl, didn't really cover her line. But that's the point. You always got to give it a crack. What else did we play? I passed on the younger Bonfim brother, even though I said on the podcast, if he becomes a bigger dog, I'll probably hit him against Abasov. I passed on that awesome decision line that someone gave me on the podcast. I passed on the over in the Maya fight, $1.60. I was just a bit too scared. I passed on Williams. I said, he's giving up a lot of size. I decided to live bet it instead. I was too silly. Didn't think, what if he gets a takedown in the first, which he did, and the live bet was never there. So I missed out on the biggest value dog on the card. Lost a bit on Bilato, but I did hit a multi of fight one, start round 3 in the main and the co-main. I just felt the Bilato brother in the co-main, or even if he lost, he would have got finished. You could either get the sub or you could get the KO. And I thought the main event was very volatile. I played Bilato early just because of a bit of value. If you remember, I said I wasn't too confident. I felt like it could be a fight where it could be winning until it gets sparked because his opponent carries power late and he can get grappled but not finished, which essentially happened. Lost a bit on Bilato, but I cashed that co-main and main one start round 3. So essentially just passed on all the leans I had on the podcast, which all won. So a lesson really in being a pansy and scared money makes no money. So just if you got a lean, just stick to it. Don't be scared. And but it pretty much just proves how easy it is to make profit every week on Contender. You just stick to your guns, and if you have a good read, just hit it. Don't second guess yourself. But other than that, we're still in profit. 3 more weeks. Just got to correct some things. I've got a few plays here, and I'm somewhat confident. So let's clean up a few things and keep going. Let's get into the first fight. First fight is Brandon Lewis, Daniel Marcos. I don't want to talk too much about this one. I've taped Lewis before against Mo Miller. He lost that by WrestleF. I personally think this is just a low-level fight. Lewis leaves a lot to be desired. He's kind of like a karate guy, switch stance fighter. Loads up some nice hooks when he switches stances. Can get his own takedowns. He's stocky, kind of strong. Decent power. He seems to have some subs early in his career. He had a long layoff, and it's come back a bit more muscly. Takedown seemed to be his weakness, even in his last fight on Fight TV. Let me just get the guy's name. He got taken down in the first and lost a round. Tyler Moore, 11-6, not the best fighter. And I thought, okay, he's obviously still not addressed this. It was a problem in the Miller fight and still is. His cardio also gives me a bit of a concern, and he's also hittable. Because obviously he's shorter than everyone he fights, he likes to bob and weave. He's got good head movement. He likes to bob and weave in the pocket because it's the best chance to land his hooks. But he does get little punches on the way in. His chin seems to be good. On the other side, we've got Daniel Marcos. I mean, every single fight I've watched, he just wants to grind. He wants to clinch up. Not the best physicality or wrestling per se. Low-level regional scene, Peruvian scene. He's getting taken down himself. He's getting reversed. He's losing position. It's just not something that inspires confidence in me. In his last fight, that's the first time I've seen him use striking for an extended amount of time against Gaston Manzua, and he actually knocked him out. The one before that, Roy, who was 5-4, he had a doctor stoppage, but I didn't even see what happened in that fight for it to be a doctor stoppage. I mean, it just seemed like he was grinding on him. But you see that on low-level South American scenes, like just these opponents just quit, and they're just not up for it. So, Lewis still has some holes. I capped him as a slight favorite just because of LFA experience, contender experience. He's young as well, seems to be decent. He's hard to finish. He's got power. Maybe he can get his own takedowns. And Marcos could be improving. It's hard to get a read on the guy, beating bums in the Peruvian scene, and can even get takedowns on Lewis, with his own wrestling. It's just hard to tell, but I would have Lewis as a slight fave. At these odds, he's too much of a favorite, but he's not. If I'm going to hit Marcos, I would want better odds. Apparently, he's training in America now, so maybe he's improving. But yeah, just a low-level fight that I can't get a read on, so no interest in playing anything. Let's move on. All right, Bruno, Brazil, Malik, Man. This is an interesting one because as I'm taping this, I was aware of Man because I saw her I was taping Popreki versus that chick that she just lost to in LFA. I had a bit on Popreki there. I thought she got robbed, but it is what it is. Close fight. I saw a Man go to a split decision with that chick. Kelsey Arneson, not the best girl, but very, very physical, strong. As I'm taping this fight, I'm taping Brazil, right? She seems to be long rangey, good Brazilian Muay Thai striker. Got a lot more variety in the kicks, spinning back kicks, Superman fists, head kicks, etc., etc. She can switch stances. Gets taken down quite a bit. I'm like, okay, I know Man likes to go for takedowns. Let's see if she's addressed this. First lost the Boni fight, but second fight she lost to Canellosi as well, but that was 8 years ago now. The Boni fight kept getting taken down, kept going for a guillotine. Eventually her knee blew out on one of the takedowns. And then as I'm going through her fights, she's still, a few finishes and the decisions. She likes to stay on the outside. She still likes that guillotine. She fell down a few times for it. And I was like, oh, red flags, not improving it. And then she went to and this, in my mind, I'm thinking Man's going to be a minus 200 favorite because, LFA experience, undefeated, 5-0, better level of competition. She's clearly the grappler. Bruno has, grappling deficiencies. And we've seen every single week on Contender, the Brazilians and the fighters, the dogs that win and they have bad grappling defense, they end up being massive underdogs. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm trying to make a case for Bruno Brazil as an underdog. I watched the Yasmin Castaño fight, her last one in LFA, where she won a 3-round decision. Kind of hurt her a few times. Yasmin, apparently a black belt, also, quite a good grappler. She fought a bad game plan. She just, every time Brazil threw, she would just shell up and take it, and the pressure wasn't good. The cage cutting wasn't good. And then she took Brazil. When Brazil hurt her, she did flying double switch knee into the clinch and got taken down. I was like, okay, she's still doing this. Like, she doesn't know. She's hurting her, and then she just puts herself in a clinch and gets taken down. And she ended the round on bottom. Round 2, I think she got taken down and kept looking for the legs. But it's all sloppy stuff, the inverting. It's not traits of a good jiu-jitsu fighter, right? Like, there's people that can invert and they're dangerous and attack the heel hooks. But when Brazil does it, I'm not too impressed. So yeah, and then she wins. I think she lost round 3. She won round 3. She got a couple of takedowns, but she also did a dump switch knee into the clinch again and got taken down again. And I'm just like, okay, I can't. I think a lot of people are going to play Man as a favorite here, and Brazil is going to look good, but then lose because she does this kind of stuff, looks for guillotines and jumps in the clinch and gives up easy takedowns. And then I checked the line and Brazil is the minus 200 favorite. So I bet Man. I thought it was a no-brainer. Man, on the other hand, she's 5 foot tall. She's much smaller. Potentially why she's the underdog. She's got a bit of Dan Henderson. I know it's a weird comparison to me, but she's a southpaw. She comes forward. She's very short, 5 foot. She seems to have some power. I saw her literally put out a girl cold with one hook to the jaw. That's why I call her Dan Henderson. When I faded Arneson against Popreki, it's because I thought Arneson was cheating. I've seen Ricci hurt her, and then I've also seen Man hurt her, like multiple times, like wobble her. But now I realize Man actually might have some little small golem power, stocky power with those hooks. She hurt her in round 1 and round 3. So she's short, but she keeps coming forward. She seems to have power in her hands. She's strong. When she gets to against the cage, the wrestling's not the best, but she's got throws and trips when she can push you up. I mean, Brazil is not someone that's strong enough to counter those. She falls over. Like I said, easy to take down. But yeah, I mean, I assume Man is going to come. Her pressure's going to be a lot better than the previous opponent. It's all she does. She comes forward. She doesn't seem to be scared to be hit. She will actively look for the grappling. She's got a submission over Macia off her back, which is the girl that was Macias, which is a black belt in judo, the girl that was on a contender against Gloria De Paula. So, and that fight was close as well until she got the sub, and she had a split against a very physical Arneson, and she kept falling off the back. So yeah, there's concerns here. There's concerns. Man is also green, and she's given up 6 inches of height against Brazil, who likes to stay on the outside, and she's most likely going to try stick and move against a much shorter man. But it's only 3 inches of disadvantage, and the ground advantage is so massive that and it's contender series minus 200. Like, this is a no-brainer for me. I was just so surprised because I try. My capping and taping is still improving 4 years in, that I'm kind of having fun with these contender series fights. I try actually predict what they're going to be. UFC is a bit different. I try to because I know all the fighters and I see the line early, and I try lay the juice before the odds move. But with contender, when I'm first taping these fighters, I try cap my own prediction odds, and yeah, I was so surprised. I thought Man was going to be a massive favorite due to the grappling advantage and the finishes and the submissions, and yeah. And I placed half a unit yesterday. I was honestly considering a full unit, to make up for my passing on last week and being a pansy. I was like, you're confident, just put a whole unit. You should potentially be the favorite here. And then the odds got a bit closer this morning, so obviously other people have put money on it. But yeah, I think this could potentially be a pick 'em personally. Bruno wins this by sticking and moving. But even if she hurts her and she does one flying knee, she's going to push herself into the clinch. So, yeah, Man, easy play for me. I got her at almost a $3 underdog. And, yeah, just the pressure and maybe land one of the big shots and look to somehow get in the clinch, catch a kick even. She throws spinning back kicks. Man as a dog, easy play for me. All right, Malik Lewis, Trevor Peak. Interesting fight. I'm pretty sure Trevor Peak was the guy that Cody Safdie on Twitter recently was saying about signing a petition because he got out of prison and the parole officer won't let him fight on contender. And I was going to sign that, but I didn't get time because I do believe in people getting second chances and whatnot. And it makes no sense, from the parole officer. The guy's trying to change his life. Obviously, if he makes it to the UFC, he's never going to go to jail again. But yeah, I think that's sorted out now. And you can tell this guy was in prison. The dude's seen some shit. You see his eyes at the weigh-ins and the way he fights. I mean, Peak is an absolute wrecking ball. The guy is just a brawler. He comes forward. He bangs. He puts himself in bad positions. He can be taken down. He seems like he gasses, but he will fight for your money. He's an absolute dog. I can't really break him down other than he just keeps coming forward, swings hooks. He can switch stances. He will look for his own takedowns occasionally. He literally powers out of being flattened out, getting his back taken, and he carries his power late. He breaks people. So that's literally his style. He's just a junkyard dog. Right. On the other side, I've got Malik Lewis. He kind of reminds me of what's his name? Semmelsberger. He reminds me of Semmelsberger. Big, long guy, powerful, physical, but a bit slow, a bit one-dimensional, a bit of a size bully. If he doesn't knock you out and if he can't take you down, he's a bit slow and lumbering. Right. It seems to be all about physicality for him. It says he's undefeated on amateurs and professional, but he 100% lost an amateur fight. His last amateur fight, I'll tell you right now, because I watched all of his amateurs, all of his professional. Because a lot of time, these 4-3 guys with not much adversity, you got to watch the amateurs where they go to decision, where they get gassed, where they get hit. That's where you can get a proper read on fighters. Sparking low-level guys, in the first, second round, you just don't know. You can't get a proper read. So I got a lot out of taping his amateurs. Went to decision, kind of slowed down a bit. He uses his wrestling a lot. Don Doyle in LFA, 6-1 guy. He absolutely beat him 2019, no doubt about it. Right, took him down every single round. Ended up in the triangle in round at the end of round 1. Maybe you can give that round to Malik because of that. But round 2 kept getting taken down, and round 3 just got ragdolled. Right, all his fans were celebrating. Don was celebrating. Malik looked like he lost. He knew he needed to finish. So that was an absolute, and that was unanimous. That was unanimous for Malik Lewis. So Malik Lewis got a gift from the judges in that one. So he should have lost his last amateur fight. In another amateur fight against Peralta, some black dude from America, explosive guy, he dropped him, and then he shot straight in on him and recovered and took him down and kind of used his wrestling there. So there's a bit of adversity there. But other than that, just he's a bit more technical. He likes to feint, stay on the outside. He's taller, longer than Peak. Also got power, and a lot of his finishes are either from ground and pound or going to mount, flattening out. His last one was by triangle choke. Like I said, he almost got the triangle choke on Don Doyle on his amateurs against Marcus Vincius, probably the best opponent he's fought other than Don Doyle. Don Doyle is 4-0 as a professional now, by the way. So good fighter. Marcus Vincius was taking him down himself. And then in round 2, Malik got the triangle on him. To me personally, I feel like this is another dog or pass. I feel like the style of Lewis, where he's patient and he looks to stay on the outside, he uses length and use wrestling, which is not the greatest. Like I said, he uses a lot of physicality. And if he can't muscle fighters to down, like his last opponent, he couldn't muscle him down and spend a lot of time against the cage, and he got taken down himself. If he doesn't get that triangle, it's a very sweaty fight. He was slowing down a bit. You don't want to rely on looking for triangles off your back. I mean, Peak, I also looked through all of his amateurs and all of his professional fights. He did get submitted. Actually, I'm lying. I didn't go back to 2014. I don't like to go 6 years back in advance. The guy was like 18. 21 years old. But at the Tevin Brown fight, he lost a split on his amateurs. I've never seen him personally, maybe because I skipped through it. I've never seen him hurt in any of his fights, right? So he's just like a junkyard dog. He's very durable. Again, I feel like Lewis can take him down. He can put him in bad positions because a lot of people do, because he's so aggressive and he gets on his back a lot. But I feel like the aggressiveness of Lewis, the power, the constant pressure, he's not going to give Lewis the fight of the technical fight that Lewis wants. And if he gets taken down, he's going to get up, he's going to power out, he's going to reverse on top. I feel like this is a guy that's going to fight for your money. And it's a no-brainer. You got one guy as a dog and another guy, Lewis, that's unproven. And I think potentially Pete can run through him. He can run through him, but if he doesn't run through him, we might have a dogfight here. And give me someone like Pete who's in the dogfight in every single one of his fights. And his last fight knocked out Karma Worthy, which is UFC vet. That's nothing to whatever. Karma Worthy's got an absolute paper mache chin. But yeah, this is a no-brainer. I saw some people saying Peak as a dog, and as I was taping and I saw all the holes he was making, I was like, nah, he's a dog for a reason. He puts himself in a lot of bad positions. But when I went deep, it was like, okay, I see now. Like it's sometimes when you go to the second layer of taping, you'd see these things. Yes, he's hittable. Yes, he can be taken down. But how is the fight going to play out? Most likely he's going to get through those situations and he's going to break Lewis or finish him. If Lewis wins, most likely he finishes him, right? But yeah, Peak for me, I got a high feeling on him as another dog. So 2 dogs for you boys right here. I'm sticking by him. I'm relatively confident. Potentially, you could look at some unders. They haven't opened up for me yet. Let's have a look since we're here already. Let's have a look because I waited till a day later. Lewis inside a distance, $1.80, so that's horrible. Peak, $3.35. Yeah, that's potentially decent. There's no unders here, so I don't know. But we'll just have to wait. But the under could be another potential spot. But yeah, Peak for me to out hustle him and potentially finish him. All right. Got my man, Akai Fueled Mountaineer. Hit the like button. Yes, please, fellas, hit the like button. I'm noticing more and more likes and subscribers. I appreciate it. I try to put a podcast out every week. I try to tape every single fight in detail before doing anything. I really don't want to give any bad leads to my viewers. So any likes, any subscribes, I appreciate it. And go to Twitter and subscribe to my man's Twitter as well. I think Akai Fueled Mountaineer is his name as well. So he's a legend from Sherdog. Nick Rodriguez, Sherdog. Yep, that's all that needs to be said, man. The OGs know. The OGs know. All right, next fight. Iqra, Aliskarov, Mario Susa. I mean, this is probably the most well-known fight on the card. I think everyone knows Iqra. I think everyone knows Mario Susa. I mean, most people should anyway. Iqra is the guy that comes out, couldn't take down on Brave FC with multiple takedowns, and he just ended up sparking him with an uppercut. That's also Ikram's last loss. Last loss and only loss in his career. On the other side, Mario Susa, this is his third Contender Series appearance. First time he beat that Polish guy that was 8-0. He just kept getting constantly taken down and reversed and spent the majority of the fight on his back, but he literally stole it with a couple of reversals and doing more damage ground and pound. But it was a bad look for him, and that's why he didn't get signed. And then he came back against Chitty, and Chitty just broke him in round 3. Again, kept taking him down and reversing him. And yeah, I think Mario is a bit flaky. He's a bit hittable. His takedown defense leaves a lot to be desired. He's got a lot of subs off his back on the regionals, but obviously now that he's taken a step up, he can't seem to do that. He's hittable as well. He got cracked by Chitty, but he recovered. He kept throwing. He got cracked by another guy on the regionals as well. So obviously after losing the Contender Series to Chitty, he went back on the regionals and got 2 KOs. Both were not good. And he ran through him in round 1. So obviously that's all Dana White needs to see. And obviously he brought him back. It could also be just a setup for Iqra because Iqra matches up quite well with him. He's quite an explosive wrestler, strong. He just beat Dennis Tululian, who knocked out Jamie Pickett in the UFC. He kept taking him down over and over again, and then round 3 took him down and Kimura'd him. He recently beat Nonchon Borrell in Eagle FC, a good fighter, Strikeforce and Bellator veteran. I thought about playing Borrell there as an underdog. I passed. I'm glad I did. He kind of just didn't get out of first gear, and he slowed down real bad, but still beat Borrell. He should win, but he does slow down quite a bit. He does slow down quite a bit in round 3. His wrestling is so good that he can still get takedowns, and Sosa's takedown defense is so bad that he can still get taken down, and he slows down himself. But at these massive juiced odds, I just can't. It's too scary for me. I mean, if Sosa's going to win, he will be by KO. He hits like a truck. He's long. He's powerful. He's aggressive. When he plants, he throws. He's going to have the size advantage. Ikram does back out in a straight line, and he has been hit with straight punches, by Dennis, by obviously comes up with one uppercut, laid him out cold. He can be hit, and especially in round 3 when he slows down, if he doesn't get the finish, and if Mario Sosa's not too tired to throw and land something, or if he gets on top and he's ground and pound, even Borrell reversed him and was landing some ground and pound on him. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking about maybe finish, but then seeing how he wasn't close to a finish on Borrell, and how he took Dennis, who usually has a bad ground game and susceptible to submissions, to round 3. It's just like if Sosa goes to round 3 here and then Ikram is gassed, it's just sweaty. He's sweaty, and I don't know if he's going to be just concerned with grappling instead of landing ground and pound and going for subs. I'll have to see the odds. So that was my first thought here was pass. I can't play Ikram. Susa by a finish is the only way to play him personally. I mean, the only way he wins a decision is, getting a few good positions and landing enough ground and pound and doing more damage than Ikram, who is very live, I guess. But yeah, tough fight to be confident in. I'm not laying the juice. To address some comments, Ikram by finish. Yeah, that's what I was considering, but I don't know about easily. It took Chitty till round 3 to finish him, and he just kind of broke him. How easy does he finish? Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Ikram likes to ground and pound or sub. Mostly sub. I mean, he's quite the explosive guy. He's got some nice strikes. He's got that sambo striking, which I compared to Abasov, or whatever his name was last week against the Bonfim brother. Just throws good punches and he's light on the feet. But yeah, recently he's just gassing a bit. I don't know. I don't like what I see from him. He used to be much better a few years ago. So yeah, I'll look in maybe the under. Maybe the under covers both Ikram and Susa. Maybe Susa comes out here and he just goes, look, I can't get grappled for 3 rounds here. I need to finish. I want to be in the UFC. We've seen a lot of these guys have come for the third time to Contender Series. Even Jamie Pickett, they let their hands go a bit more. They're like, this is embarrassing if I lose 3 times in a row. So yeah, I feel like, Susa finish. Susa finish could be quite juicy. I might just sprinkle that $50. Iqra didn't finish a former UFC fighter. Not that confident now. I don't know if that's sarcasm. Yeah, non-shot overall. I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of finishes. I don't know, man. It just depends on the odds. But Ikram finish is going to be minus money. So if it's minus money like I think it is, there's your answer. I can't play it. It's Contender Series. Rather play the under and be covered from both results. All right. Main event of the evening. Alan Begosso, Farid Basharat. They brought old man Basharat back. His opponent missed weight last time, so he didn't fight. He's a good fighter. He reminds me of his brother. Uses a bit more wrestling than his brother, whereas his brother is predominantly a striker, and he's got good chokes and submissions, but usually uses his takedowns, his wrestling to stop takedowns and piece his opponents up. Very good. Let me address this. Yes, Nansho Abarel is very good, especially for the regional level. Underrated fighter, good power. Guys on Sherdog, liking the dog shot. Yeah. If you're talking about the main event, I like the dog shot here too. But let's not do too many spoilers before we get there. Basharat, just like his brother, really good distance management. Switches stances, calf kick, fast, in and out. Lots of volume, good cardio. When things go south, he mixes in takedowns to break it up. Not the best control, so a lot of people stand up when he takes him down. Not the best level of competition. Obviously people in Octagon, War of Titans, Norwich, the UK scene, 0-0 guys, 0-3, kind of like his brother, but his brother, one of my biggest regrets is passing on his brother against Trevor Giles. There was literally no adversity from his tape, but you could just see that he was good, and I feel like his brother might be the same, but I don't know if his brother is on that level. He definitely doesn't have as good defense as his brother. He got dropped in his last fight against Raul Guzman, 6-4. He got dropped by Marco Zanetti, I think it was, 4-0 guy. Nothing crazy. He doesn't even drop completely. He doesn't even get floored. He just gets kind of hit because his hands are low. He's got that karate stance, but still, that's once or twice I've seen that in 8 battles. But it is a bit crazy. The line is $1.30. I got him $1.30. I felt like the line would get steamed. Sorry, I didn't get him $1.30. I got Begosso at $3.30. I felt like the line would get steamed as I was taping it. I remember not being that impressed by Basharat originally, but he's serviceable and he's got a lot of things going for him, right? He's got that good strike, he's got the wrestling, he's got the cardio, and if they're not low high level, he will submit him and finish him as well. If he is going to hurt anyone, he will be with head kicks. Hands don't have the biggest power. He's mostly death by 1,000 cuts kind of fighter. On the other side, Begosso is a little powerhouse. He's got good boxing, good power as well. He's got 2-3 knockouts. In his last loss, it was a 5-round title fight against Palencia in LFA. No shame in that. Palencia is now 10-0 and the LFA champion. He kept taking him down. Begosso loved the guillotine and the ninja choke. He had that really tight in multiple rounds. Palencia powered through it, took him down, and he kind of seemed to be tired. But he's good, he's good at getting up, and looking for legs and pushing up. He kicks off and stands up, so he doesn't spend, even though he's got decent jiu-jitsu, he doesn't spend too much time on his back. And then back on his feet, he's got good boxing again. He can get his own takedowns. Like I said, good power, good boxing. It's just, yeah, all those things. He's a very good fighter for Basharat to be that much of a favorite. Like, according to this line, he runs through him. So I think a lot of it is the hype from his brother as well. I think the longer this fight goes, the more it favors Basharat because of the volume. Begosso, I'm not 100% sure on his cardio. He kind of just seems to huff and puff a bit, especially when he stuffs a few takedowns, especially when he gets up after a few takedowns. But again, he landed a big bomb in round 5 against Palencia in that title fight, and it looked like he was out. It looked like he was tired and out of the fight, and he landed and almost finished him. And it was a real beautiful left and then duck under, and he switched stances and he threw from southpaw stance to drop him. Just like, it was great boxing. So he still had the power to almost finish him in round 5, and that was 3 rounds to 2. So he's a good fighter. He's dangerous with the hands. He's dangerous with the guillotine. I don't know if he's going to get it. I mean, I've seen Basharat put his neck in a few of them, and he seems to have good defense. He's very comfortable. I've seen a lot of people defend Begosso's guillotine as well and the ninja choke. So it's like, if he doesn't get it, he's just going to gas himself out here. Hopefully he's more concerned about actually stuffing the takedowns, because I think he's got a good shot if he cracks Basharat. But yeah, if you're going to play Basharat, I think he can play decision. He goes long more often than not. I don't see him finishing Begosso. If he is going to finish him, probably cracks him with a head kick and then tires him out, maybe from constant takedowns and grappling cardio late on. So potentially round 3 decision for Begosso if you want Basharat if you want to be safe, or just sprinkle a bit of Begosso. Begosso, I got him at $3.40. I think the guy is the guy's too dangerous not to play a little bit here. The hype is massive on Basharat. So yeah, I got a quarter unit on Begosso, $3.40. I think it's coming quite a bit now. Line has already dropped a bit. Got the better line yesterday. That's what Nick Rodriguez is saying. Javi seems to be the better brother. Yeah, 100% he's the better brother. But they're both young, man. They're going to improve. Now, the line's dropped. You can still get $3.40 on Bet365. Although just before when I checked, there was some maintenance going on. Yeah, $3.40. On all my other Aussie bookies, it's way less. So yeah, jump on that while you can. Mr. Eric, I have a half unit on Begosso, $3. These odds are insane, man. $3.90. Like, even if he loses, if he gets outstruck, taken down, out cardioed, it's a no-brainer, right? I know my mate Scrap Kappa's got a bit of no scorecards and a bit of the submission on Begosso. Obviously, he thinks his best chance is a finish, which I do too. But at these odds, it's such a big underdog odds. You don't want to play finish, and he ends up getting a decision by a couple of big moments, like dropping Basharat or taking him down or getting a good guillotine and winning the round that way. So yeah, sprinkle a little bit on the dog. I think you can easily hedge out because the line is going to get even more narrower before tomorrow, and then you can hedge potentially with Basharat decision or something, or even live, man. You can hedge Basharat live if the fight goes good. But yeah, if Basharat wins, most likely going to mix in takedowns, stick and move, have the better cardio. But Begosso is too dangerous enough for me to not have a problem to sprinkle him a bit. Yeah, I struggled to get those words out there a little bit, but that's right. Not very articulate this morning. But let's go through the card quickly. Brendan Lewis, Daniel Marcos. I slightly favor Lewis, I guess, but it's a dog or pass. Yeah, low-level fight. Hard to get a read on. Let's move on. Bruno Brazil, Manik Man. Like I said, I honestly thought Man was going to be the massive favorite. When I saw she wasn't, easy play for me. She's going to pressure. She's going to be at a rage disadvantage, but she's going to keep coming forward. And I just feel like Bruno Brazil will do something stupid to end up on her back. And as an underdog, you gotta hit the massive grappling advantage. Malik Lewis, Trevor Peak. I think Lewis is a bit unproven and he hasn't faced much adversity, and Trevor Peak is just going to put it on him. And Lewis wants a technical fight and he's going to use his wrestling, but I don't think he's going to get anything off on Peak. And Peak is explosive and aggressive enough that he might get his own takedowns, get reversals, and he might pound them out potentially later on. So dog shot on peak there as well. Iqra, Malik, Mario Susa. At the moment, I've got nothing. They're just giving Susa someone with a really bad style matchup for him in his third contender series fight. But he is dangerous, and this line is a bit out there. He can probably finish Iqram. That's his best chance. Iqram has been knocked out with one punch before. Yes, it was Kamzat, but he slows down really bad in round 3. So it might be there. The opportunity might be there. It's a dog or pass for me. Maybe I sprinkle a bit of Mario. Finish, or maybe the under. The under, potentially. The only way the under is compromised is if Iqram just holds on for dear life and just grinds on him. So, yeah. And then I got a little sprinkle Alan Begosso. No brainer. The line is just disrespectful. A lot of hype on Basharat. He is a good fighter, I'll give him that. But so is Begosso. And Begosso is probably hands down Basharat's toughest opponent. So 3 dog shots. Let's get it. Follow the lanes and hit him hard. Good luck to everyone. Half a unit on Begosso. That's the spirit. You can hedge live on Basharat. Yeah, pretty much just saying everything I'm saying. This card is Dogfest. Let's hope it is. Last time I was on, well, not last time. First time I was on all dogs. They're all lost. Leachy, etc., and Cartwright. And then second time I was on all dogs. They all won. Flowers and I can't remember who else was on that card, but yeah, I swept that one. So let's hope this is another card like that. Not all dogs are probably going to win, but yeah, where there's value, there's value. You got to hit it. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening in. I'll see you in a few days for UFC. Most likely on Thursday again, same time, same place. Most likely going to have Scrap Capper on. We had a good event. So tune in. The competition's still running. And good luck on your bets. I will see you all in a few days.